What's up, guys? Welcome once again to the Safe Continued Newscast. My name is Ryan Robinson. There's Tom Shelby.
Hello.
There's Shanae Howard.
Hi, guys.
And back again is James Sandusky. We have stories from the week of January 28th through February 4th, 2018. First up, Nintendo.
Yeah, so a couple of interesting things. One, last week we skipped over this news. I don't know why. Ojiro Fumuto has joined Nintendo. So if you don't know him, you might know him better as Moppin. He is the creator of Downwell. He's now working for Nintendo, which I think is fucking awesome.
Yeah, he's going to make a Nintendo Downwell.
So I love Downwell.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's a good pooping game.
Yeah. Second, Nintendo had their investor call this week and announced a few interesting things. One, the Mario movie by Illumination that has been rumored has been confirmed, so They are doing that. I think in conjunction with Universal, which makes sense because Universal is doing their theme park for them. Mm-hmm. What do you think about this?
I think that no one will replace Bob Hoskins, but they will try.
I mean, I assume it's going to be Charles Martinet, but
yeah.
The
one thing I'm curious about with that movie is, are they going to give him like full lines of dialogue, or is he just going to say like one or two words at a time like he normally does?
That's what everybody's been wondering. Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, with Ryan Reynolds playing Detective Pikachu, could be anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. They also announced Mario Kart Tour for mobile, due out before the end of their fiscal year. So for those that don't know, their fiscal year goes from March to March.
Yeah. Another phone game for Shanae.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be early 2019.
Before the end of the fiscal year would be early 2019.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, all the things I saw said that.
Yeah. So yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
That makes me wonder then if they're doing like a mobile game, if for the theme parks, if they'll have like a Mario Kart ride there.
You know they will. They have to, right? That's the most obvious thing.
There's no way you do
Mario Kart,
a Nintendo theme park with no Mario Kart go-kart track.
Star Fox is easy.
Yeah.
Maybe Donkey Kong Minecart.
Star Fox is obviously going to be a VR attraction.
Yeah.
There's going to be a Donkey Kong Minecart roller coaster.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
There should be. Would you go to Japan for this theme park?
Sure.
Because I would.
Sure.
I mean, I go to Japan for a lot of reasons, but this theme park would be one of them.
Yeah, the biggest reason. Okay.
All right.
What else? Oh, yeah, their online service will launch in September, which is almost a year after it was supposed to launch. It was originally supposed to launch in September of last year.
You think that you're going to get more out of it now after you start paying for it?
Yeah, I think so, but I don't think it will be much more. And I don't think it has to be much more. It's the third of the cost of the other guys.
What is it, $5?
$20 a year.
20.
Yeah.
20 a year?
20 a year.
Huh.
Yep. So that's cool.
Yeah. The other guys are charging $60. So
of course, I mean, I don't think it will be anywhere near as robust, but yeah.
I mean, but does it need to be?
No.
It needs to be existent, though.
A lot of people are speculating, like, what will they launch with? Typically, these services launch with a game that takes advantage of an online service. People are speculating Smash Brothers. I don't think that's the case, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Do you think the virtual console's going to launch with that too?
If it takes that long, I'll be so pissed. I don't know. A lot of people are saying maybe it'll be some kind of subscription thing, which I don't want, but...
That's what I keep hearing.
Yeah.
What, the virtual console?
Yeah.
From what I had heard, it was going to be like, it kind of like with the Xbox...
Game Pass,
yeah. Where you can play games for so long and then they're gone.
What I really like that a lot of people didn't like was, when they first announced this, they said you would get 2 NES or SNES games a month to play for that month, that then switch out the following month with new online functionality in some way, right? And I actually think that's really cool. A lot of people are like, oh, I want to have the game forever. I don't want to just have it for that month.
Go buy the game then.
I think it's cool because a lot of these old games, like nobody's talking about Balloon Fight anymore, right? Yeah. If all of a sudden everybody is playing it for that 1 month with new online functionality, it kind of gives new life to these old ass games.
Yeah.
So I can't permanently have that copy of SimAnt.
I think I think that you probably can, but it's not part of what is free for that month. You know, you'd probably have to purchase it.
You think they put GameCube on that sumbitch?
Speculation is that GameCube will be there and maybe even Dreamcast because they've done a lot of Sega consoles in the past.
Yeah.
But who knows?
I hope
I don't know.
I hope they put GameCube on there.
That's it.
What's going on with PlayStation?
So this is actually really interesting to me. PlayStation firmware 5.50 will be launching soon, and it does a number of just like, quality of life fixes, but perhaps the most interesting thing is it adds super sampling through the firmware, much like they had added HDR through the firmware.
Right.
So for those that don't know, basically what it does is it presents things in a larger resolution than intended for your display. So things like anti-aliasing are going to be better, right? Less jaggies. And that goes for even 1080p televisions, not just 4K televisions. So the cool thing about this is it justifies buying a PlayStation 4 Pro even more so
On a
even
2K display.
even if you don't have a 4K TV.
Yeah.
It gives more reason for that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Any more PlayStation stuff?
No.
What's going on at Microsoft, you guys?
So Polygon put up a report saying that their inside sources tell them that Microsoft is looking into acquiring EA, possibly
Wait, who is looking to acquire?
Microsoft.
Okay.
EA, possibly Valve, and someone else. I don't remember. Someone much smaller.
Right.
The two big ones are
Oh.
EA and Valve.
And then they did acquire PlayFab, which is a back-end system for developers.
Right.
It is like analytics, commerce, things like that.
I think it's interesting for a couple of reasons. People are like, "Oh my God, this is happening." I think it was a clickbait story, if we're being honest. Like,
Usually is.
we know that Microsoft buys up a lot of companies. They have for a long time, and they probably will continue to buy more, especially now with Games Pass being what it is, right?
Right.
They're going to have to give people a reason to want to subscribe to that thing on a month-to-month basis. But if you take into account fiduciary duty, shareholders and investors for EA or Valve, if Microsoft comes at them with a shit ton of money, and both EA and Valve are worth over $1 billion,
Right.
over $1 billion, they would have to not only match that, but surpass it for the fiduciary duty to be, we have to do this deal.
Right.
And even in that case, they'd have to prove that once that deal is done, it is in the best interest of the shareholders.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to happen.
I actually had a question about that. So when I was reading it, wondering if Microsoft bought EA,
Yeah.
would that mean that all those sports games, like Madden, NBA, and all that, would be only on on Xbox?
I kind of really doubt that.
Yeah,
we saw this week
Because
with
money.
Well, we saw this week with Minecraft, right? We know
Yeah.
they continue to publish Minecraft across all platforms, literally almost all platforms. And this week we saw Nintendo show a commercial with Banjo-Kazooie and Master Chief in it because of Minecraft, you know. I think it would be in their best interest to not do that. And that's another thing when we talk about fiduciary duty. Is it in the best interest of the shareholders if Microsoft does this deal to keep it to themselves or to, license it out to everybody?
I think the latter would be smarter.
Yeah.
And I think that, like you said with Minecraft, if they were to relegate the Minecraft franchise specifically to Microsoft platforms, that's leaving like millions and millions of dollars on the table.
Sure. I think that there are certain games that you would see become Microsoft exclusives, but I don't think like Madden would be one of them.
Yeah.
Maybe something like Titanfall
Yeah.
would be exclusive, but as far as these huge franchises, I don't think so.
Yeah. Shanae, what's going on with Red Dead?
It got a date for
well,
consoles.
Yeah, it
For
got
console.
delayed first.
Yeah. But October 26th
That happens.
this year.
Are you gonna buy that game, Shanae?
No, but I
You
don't.
like cowboys?
No, no, I don't like anything fun. So, I'm not.
That's fair.
I know a lot of people are excited, so yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
I know Berto is, so I'm not. I don't.
Did you play the first one?
Yeah, I find it really boring.
With all the horses? I feel like you'd love that game because of all the horses.
I couldn't choose which horse to date, so I was like, fuck it. I'm not gonna date any of them.
You know, the funny thing about that joke is it's very reliant on people watching that one particular Let's Play.
In a Let's Play, I dated a horse. That's all you need to know.
It was funny.
But yeah,
What's the date again?
October 26th for consoles.
I don't think it's surprising. Like they've delayed like everything they've put out.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm very excited for that game, though.
Also,
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of their games do come in like around that time.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. We were talking about God of War,
Because
Yeah.
and I said March because I believe every God of War has launched in March, and this one's April.
Grand
But-
Theft Auto was September 11th, the last Grand Theft Auto, and the original release, not any of the re-releases. But yeah,
Chinatown Wars.
Have you ever played that?
no,
It's really good.
not really.
It's on the DS.
I think it's on your phone now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's it for the news this week.
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Weren't you going to talk about Kazurai?
Oh, right. Thank you for reminding me. I guess we should have brought that up during the PlayStation stuff. So Sony CEO Kaz Hirai is actually stepping down after 35 years of being with the company. He mentioned in a statement about how, during his time there, they had really found the DNA of what makes Sony work and what makes them a successful company. He's talking about how somewhere along the way that had been lost, and like with some of their, he goes into detail talking about like some of the things that they've done over the past few years and how they're trying to match like price and functionality with their competitors, and and talking about how that's not really what made Sony stand out in the first place, and I think I feel like that's probably a motivating factor in his decision to step down, and also 35 years is a long ass time too. So
Yeah. I think the most interesting thing, like, I saw a lot of people posting about this, a lot of game outlets posting about this, and like Kaz Hirai has meant nothing to PlayStation for
Right.
a long time.
yeah,
If we look at the decisions that were made, like, don't get me wrong, Kaz has done a lot of good things, especially in the game space.
sure,
But like Walkman's been dead for a long time. Bravia is dead. Vio is
Yeah.
now dead.
yeah,
Sony Pictures is nowhere near as profitable as it used to be. Their main source of income right now, and for a while now, has been PlayStation.
and he's not even the guy that people talk to about PlayStation.
right. Well, Andrew House replaced him.
Yeah.
And Andrew House is now gone. So I'm wondering, like, why are people more interested in this than John Codera taking Andrew House's place? Like, there's a lot of PlayStation fans that don't even know the name John Codera.
I have a very cynical theory about that.
What's that?
I think it has a lot to do with the CEO Kaz Hirai Twitter account.
I'm sure you're right to an extent, but like people knew House,
Yeah.
and I would be surprised if we have a few more press conferences go by without John Codera there.
Sure.
But yeah,
A lot of changing of hats. Like Phil Spencer got promoted,
yeah.
and
I kind of thought like it'd be interesting to do an episode, like an actual episode of the show, explaining who all these people are for all the companies.
well,
Because a lot of people see Major Nelson and Phil Spencer
Yeah.
and Reggie Fils-Aimé, and,
I
I
think-
like that.
and they don't know what any of them actually are.
yeah, we have a lot of we talk about figureheads a lot
Yeah.
off the show, but usually in a very satirical and joking
Well,
context.
because they're
but-
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anyway, I think
That's it.
yeah, that's it.
That's it.
All right, so that's it for the news this week, guys. As always, if you have anything that you want to pass along to us, you can email us at saveandcontinuepodcast@gmail.com. Visit us at our Facebook at Save Continue Podcast, or hop into the Discord, link in the description. My name is Ryan Robinson. That's Shanae Howard.
Bye, guys.
That's James Sandusky.
Bye.
That's Tom Shelby.
Goodbye.
See you next week.